I was also lucky that I got a really awesome opportunity to work with this one brand that I saw potential with, and we scaled them from like doing 7,000 Rand a month on a good month to like close to 1 million Rand a month within a year. So it was a really awesome case study to be a part of, and that really was like, okay, now we know what we're doing. Like, you know, let's roll this. So now. And yeah, I think it also like it's always like, I know Hormozy says it a lot. He's like, you can't just stand in the mirror and just like shout affirmations. Like the evidence is what gives you the confidence, right? So and then like now it's like you jump on a sales call and I'm like, I'm so much calmer. Like I look at some of my old recordings and I'm like trying to like, I'm like, oh yeah, of course we can like help if like, you know, and I'm like, now I'm just like, if the person's like, we can't, like that's too much. I'm like, oh, that's cool, like it's fine, you know.
And then they're like,
they're like, okay, no, it's fine, we can make it work. And I'm like, cool. Like,
what is Moses also like when they ask, can you do it for less? You're like, no, I can do it for more. It's just like being able to walk away from that's the way your biggest power is, when you can be able to walk away from the interaction.
100%.
That's ultimately the only power.
Exactly.
And you being able to say like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
And they're like, why isn't this guy like doing anything?
It's kind of like you move into the space of like scarcity to abundance. And like obviously at the beginning, and like I always used to think like the mindset, like I know we both done Charlie's course. That's actually how we like first connected. But was like, I remember seeing the mindset module and I was like, oh, this is fluff, like it's woohoo, whatever. But
that hyped me the fuck up.
Bro, it's crazy how like just changing the way that you view business and life and like having that abundance of like, and I think that's where like faith also plays a big role. And it more recently has done like a lot in my life, is really just trusting like everything's going to be okay. Like it's all going to work out. Like if I lose a client or it doesn't work out, it's going to be okay. In the same way of like, I get every client I want, I get all the money that I want. It's like, there's still going to be something that humbles me. And you almost like that stoicism, I feel like comes in, where you have to just like, what happens in my life happens in my life. Like I can do what I can do, my inputs, anything outside of that doesn't work out, whatever. But like, at the core of it, like I'm going to stay true. I'm going to listen to my heart. I'm going to pursue the stuff that makes me like interested, or the things that interest me, and I'm going to just kind of execute on those. So
if you enjoyed this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and you know both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, to scaling a business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume.
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. Maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps the channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
Even Tony Robbins said, success is 80% psychology
100%.
and 20% strategies.
100%.
And when I tell people that, they're like, no, give me the subject line, bro. I'm like, obviously that is 20% of it, but it's truly just like the mindset part of it.
100%.
And mindset sounds so cliche and stupid, but you like entrepreneurship really like makes you cold, bro. Like a zombie. Like you don't care at all. It hardens you so much. I had to like literally those first 2 years or something, I became so cold. I had to integrate myself back in society again. Like, hi, hello. You are literally a zombie. But that's what hardens you, and that's because like it is tough. Like those rejections. And like I've had calls with big guys. Even Jordan Platten was one of my first sales calls.
I see.
He just left the meeting, bro. It was so bad. Like no, it was so bad. I had like big people, like because we work with influencers, right? And it's like people with hundreds and thousands of subs. But like they forget. They forget within a day. Honestly, you get that email. They're like, "Oh shit, my life's over." Bro, in 5 minutes, they forget who sent the email. I'm telling you. Emails, cold calls, all
and you realize it's not to take it personally. It's just like everyone's like, at the end of the day, everyone's also living their life and they're just trying to do what's best for them. And it's like, sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. Like you could also have the best product and maybe one day you don't communicate the value, or just they're not in a space to buy and they're more just curious. And like, it just sometimes happens. Like, but I think at first when it's entrepreneurship, I think also because you pour so much into the business, when something happens to the business, you're like,
you take it.
Like
it's you. It's literally like it hits you, bro.
You're like, this guy doesn't like me. And like, no, he doesn't like the offer. Like, doesn't like your offer. He doesn't like the subject, like the way you've written your email. Like, it's not about you. It's like it's so.
But it's so difficult to detach.
It's what, like, is it even possible, bro? Like, it's your business, your baby. You've poured your life and soul into this thing, you know? And it takes complete control of your life, you know? If you, especially if you are one of the few, because it definitely takes a certain caliber of person, like you mentioned, to really
pursue entrepreneurship on a high level. You do have a chip on your shoulder in some form of some way, you know, and it controls your life, you know. You live for that. At least for us three sitting here, like my entire life is optimized and based around building the two businesses that we are right now.
Big time.
When I say chips on shoulders, put chips in pockets.
Who said that?
I like that.
I'm not sure, but that is 100% the case.
Yeah.
Alex Mose also said that, you know, people are looking for this one trait that winners have that they don't, but it's something that they lack, which is an off switch. That's like they can't stop.
But yeah, no, it's crazy. It's also like the people often tease it, like, you know, you switch your 9 to 5 for 24/7.
It's literally that.
But it does become that. Like it's like, and it's something like, I know, like my fiance and I have like she sometimes, I think especially when I first started, she was a bit like, you know, like it's 5 o'clock, you need to end work now. And I'm like, the boss doesn't end at 5. Like, that's how this works. She's like, no, but you started your business to like have control of your time. And I'm like, yes, but like you've got to earn that. Like, that doesn't come in the mail the minute that she's like, you set up your company.
You can't switch off because like you are the business.
That's the thing. It's like, it's not necessarily working the entire like whatever 12, 14 hours, but it's like you're always on to potentially be able to do something with work, you know. It's like even at 8, 9, 10, if an email comes through or someone calls or something happens, I'm always unconsciously, like previously when I was doing 9 to 5, okay, I did after work, had that anxiety if I'm not doing enough, I need to, you know. But above that, like if I walked out of the office, I'm fucking done for the day. Like I walked out, the stress, because it's not my business, like I'm getting paid, I'm relaxed. Now, there's no off switch. I know if push comes to shove and things are either going up or going down, it's my responsibility. And there's a form of like not pride, but like probably responsibility attached to that. But I do think, you know, it is really important to be able to have a balance in that, you know, because you can't be on 24/7 and think you're gonna, well, depending on what the goal is, I guess. But if you want a healthy relationship, you know, good family, take care of your health, and have a successful business, you're gonna have to balance those things out, you know. How do you go about doing that?
But I think it's, you never, like, at this point it doesn't look like it's ever going to like, completely disappear, right? But I think you like get better at managing it, right? Like, I know like stupid things that I'll do is like, if I'm lying watching TV like at the end of a long day and I'm trying to unwind, and then I open up Slack or like my email and I'm like,
thinking of the sales guy.
But I'm also just like, bro, why would you do that? Like it's like destructive behavior. It's the same as like if you've got cookies in your pantry and you know you're supposed to be on diet, it's dumb. Just don't do it. Like, and it's the same as like, I know if I check like Slack or I check like Shopify stats or whatever, it's not gonna help me switch off. So it's like, you've got to be disciplined with also like pushing it away. Because that's one thing, like, bro, even like because like, and I also think it helps having like such a supportive partner.
I was about to say,
I know like sometimes my fiance just looks at me, she's just like, I can see that like something's on your mind. Just go and do it. Like you've got 10 minutes. Just go reply to the email. Go answer whatever you need to do. And then I'm like, oh, thank you so much. Can you go and do it? And then like whatever. And then she's like, but then when you come back, I need you 100% present. I'm like, cool. Let me do that.
Bro,
but
it's also a skill.
It is a skill, bro. And like, it's one thing. Like, I think she was quite grateful. Like, we went on a holiday with some other entrepreneurs who all run like very big businesses. And she saw like how chilled I am compared to the others. And then she's like, she comes to me, she's like, actually, you don't work as hard as I thought. Like,
you're lazy, slacking, Lippy.
I'm actually really grateful you spend time with me. Like, of course,
no,
you know.
I'm fully on board with you. I'm also getting married now very soon, and I think, you know, part of the majority of my success comes down to having a supportive partner.
100%.
I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for her, because it balances out, you know, the polarities. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with the book The Way of Superior Man from David Data. It's really good, bro. And it actually talks a lot about indirectly about this high masculine, like 24/7 work mode, whatever. And then, you know, us struggling to switch off. That's when the feminine needs to kick in, because you're essentially very stoic, not present, always delaying gratification, thinking of the future. And then the feminine divine is always very present. They're like Chiki Blomiki, wanting to be in the moment, like be here, don't really care about the future. They just want to be present. And having the balance between that allows me to then switch off. But then you need to have an understanding partner in the midst of the transition between after work and like, she needs to realize I can't just switch off after 5. It needs to take some time. And that's why, you know, having a partner that's able to see that, but it also takes time. They also need to be a part of the business, see the macro vision.
That's the thing.
But it's so important. That's the one thing that helped me a lot to be more present, is just to be surrounded by someone that's literally present the whole time, you know.
But it's interesting. Like I remember my mom, because my dad, he had like an entrepreneurial spirit, and I think that also comes back. Actually thinking about it now, he always wanted to run a business, but I think he left it too late to the point that like he had kids to support, and it's like it's hard to take the jump, and he always wanted to, and I think like. He worked really hard, like had a commission-based job, so like he could also earn, like he could like, kind of had the entrepreneurial element to it. But I remember my mom had a chat with him when they were a little bit like much younger, and he kept saying like, my mom would be like, why are you working so hard? What's all this about? And then like he would be like, no, I'm working for like our family one day and our kids one day. And she's like, but if you're not going to be present with me, what's the guarantee that you're going to have that life? And I was like, that's like a bomb, bro. Like, and my mom hit me with that when like I was working really hard and like with my fiance, and she's like, why are you like, just curious, like, you seem to be working really hard. And I'm like, I'm doing it to build a life, whatever. And she's like, what's the guarantee that if you're not like, what's the guarantee she's going to be in your life if you continue on this trajectory?
It's a fine balance, bro.
100%.
Wow,
and like
I
think being able to like stop, and I think that's where like reflection helps a lot. Is like, and it's one thing I've actually been bringing back more into my routine, is like, even if it's just like a long run on a Saturday or Sunday where I can just think about the week, and I'm like, how did I show up like with my friends? How did I show up with like my partner? How did I show up with my family, my business? Like, and I can start to I try to do the like set journaling thing, and I think it definitely works. But
it's hard to. I struggle so much.
It's hard to like. I think it's the same as I felt with meditation. It's like, sometimes if you schedule it too much, then it feels forced, and then it takes away from being present.
I agree with that.
Because you're always thinking about it in the future, and then there's a guilt if you don't do it, whereas it actually should be free.
Bro, we crazy, man.